Hey, welcome back to A Manic Odyssey and this DBT series. Last video, we talked about loving kindness and self-compassion. In this video, we're going to go over 3 elements of self-compassion, and then we're going to walk through 2 exercises together. Let's get to it. First, let's define self-kindness versus self-judgment. Self-compassion entails being warm and understanding toward ourselves when we suffer, fail, or feel inadequate, rather than ignoring our pain or flagellating ourselves with self-criticism. Self-compassionate people recognize that being imperfect, failing, and experiencing life difficulties is inevitable, so they tend to be gentle with themselves when confronted with painful experiences rather than getting angry when life falls short of a set of ideas. People cannot always be or get exactly what they want. When this reality is denied or fought against, suffering increases in the form of stress, frustration, and self-criticism. When this reality is accepted with sympathy and kindness, greater emotional equanimity is experienced. Next, common humanity versus isolation. Frustration at not having exactly as we want is often accompanied by an irrational but pervasive sense of isolation, as if I were the only person suffering or making mistakes. However, all humans suffer. The very definition of being human means that one is mortal, vulnerable, and imperfect. Therefore, self-compassion involves recognizing that suffering and personal inadequacy is part of the shared human experience. Something that we all go through, rather than being something that happens to me alone. Next, we'll look at mindfulness versus over-identification. Self-compassion also requires taking a balanced approach to our negative emotions so that feelings are neither suppressed nor exaggerated. This equilibrated stance stems from the process of relating personal experiences to those of others who are also suffering, thus putting our own situation into a larger perspective. It also stems from the willingness to observe our negative thoughts and feelings as they are, without trying to suppress or deny them. We cannot ignore our pain and feel compassion for it at the same time. At the same time, mindfulness requires that we not be over-identified with thoughts and feelings so that we are caught up and swept away by negative reactivity. Okay, now that we have these 3 elements as a backdrop, let's move on to 2 exercises to help us practice this skill. Exercise 1 is called, How Would You Treat a Friend? Take out a piece of sheet paper and answer the following questions. First, think about times when a close friend feels really bad about themselves, or is struggling really bad in some way. How would you respond to your friend in this situation, especially when you're at your best? Pause the video and write down what you typically do, what you say, and note the tone in which you typically talk to your friends. Now think about times when you feel bad about yourself or are struggling. How do you typically respond to yourself in these situations? Pause the video and write down what you typically do, what you say, and note the tone you talk to yourself with. Did you notice a difference? If so, ask yourself why. What factors or fears come into play that lead you to treat yourself and others so differently? After that, pause the video again and write down how you think things might change if you responded to yourself in the same way you typically respond to a close friend when you're suffering. Why not try treating yourself like a good friend and see what happens? Exercise 2 is called Self-Compassion Break. For this exercise, think of a situation in your life that is difficult, that is causing you stress. Call the situation to mind and see if you can actually feel the stress and emotional discomfort in your body. Now say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. That is mindfulness. Other options include, this hurts, ouch, this is stress. Then say, suffering is a part of life. That is common humanity. Other things you could say are, other people feel this way. I am not alone. We all struggle in our lives. Now, put your hands over your heart. Feel the warmth of your hands and the gentle touch of your hands on your chest, or adopt the soothing touch you discovered feels right for you. Then say to yourself, may I be kind to myself. You can also ask yourself, what do I need to hear right now to express kindness to myself? Is there a phrase that speaks to your particular situation, such as, may I give myself the compassion that I need? May I learn to accept myself as I am? May I forgive myself? May I be strong? May I be patient? This practice can be used any time of the day or night and will help you remember to evoke the 3 aspects of self-compassion when you need it most. For more information on self-compassion specifically, check out Dr. Kristin Neff's work at self-compassion.org. Thank you for watching A Manic Odyssey and for joining us on this DBT journey. I'll see you next week with another video. Bye-bye.